Hey, hey, hey! We are here to recap season two, episode six of The Way Home. It's called How to Save a Life, and that's basically the only really big thing that happens in the episode, right?
Yeah.
There's a rescue, so to speak.
Right, how to save the life, yeah,
Right,
you know?
right.
Um, Lots of fun things to break down, a couple things to ponder here and there, some quotes to giggle about. Before we dive in, pun intended, Sven, give them the
Always.
spiel.
All right. Major spoilers. We will be talking about everything in season two, episode six, along with things that possibly have happened before this and that will happen after it. If you have not watched all of the episodes, please leave now and come back when you're done. We will be here waiting for you and pick it up from there. For those of you that are here and have been through this, you know what you're in for, and you know we have warned about spoilers, so here we go. Let's have
All
some
right.
fun.
So we
Oh, yeah.
jump right into it. Things are happening. We pick up right where we left off in episode five. Jacob comes home. Kat is elated. It lasts for 5 seconds. And then the British,
That's what they
British,
want us to think.
I was like, we did this last week.
but it's the British.
British, yep, in air
Okay.
quotes.
The British soldiers come in to arrest Jacob and not sure what's going on with that at all in the moment. Jacob's taken into custody. Kat loses her mind, and then she gets to have one of many team meetings with her, Thomas, and Susie.
Team meeting.
That's just what I'm going to call them because
That's
they're intended to be collaborative. They're slightly um unproductive until the last minute, and then things do like it's just a mess. So I'm gonna
it.
dub them team meetings.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that comes to mind every single time that these three get into a team meeting, though, is which side is Thomas Coyle on?
Thomas
He's so
Coyle.
dirty.
Thomas Coyle is on Thomas Coyle's side. So he's
He's
gonna do things to help himself and to keep himself out of trouble. But you can see him in this episode where it's just starting to soften a little bit, and he's starting to feel for Jacob and the position he put him in. And I think
he's
he's,
got the hots for his sister,
well, he's feeling the pressure from Kat and Susanna. And so I think he's starting to, if it wasn't for them, he probably would have let
the
Jacob
romantic
rot in
pressure.
that dungeon cell. But I think he's starting to come around. And
No,
there's one other person that's starting to see it too, and that's Kat. She doesn't quite see it yet, but we know what happens with her and Thomas, so we know that she comes around to it. Don't shake your head no, because
I have to shake my head no because that's where the artist idea just continues to be like a self-fulfilling prophecy because the second he acts like he's super nice and has a soul and can care, he turns around and does the next shady thing. And it's like, you had me tricked.
I'm talking about down the line.
Well, in this moment, it is nauseating the way he throws us
Well,
back and
it
forth.
is. And the way they've set his character up and the way they've got him being as conniving and what he's doing, it's really all about himself.
Hmm.
And we see that big. But if it was all about himself this entire episode, he would not have helped try to
Touche.
save Jacob.
Touche.
He is starting to come around, and then as we know, spoilers in the future, we've already talked about this, we will have spoilers. When him and Kat actually become a little more romantic, we see them both like coming down from those hard
Drop their
places
guards.
to each other. Yeah. Like
Hmm.
almost like Kat kind of tame the beast, so to speak. She like he was like this mean, conniving, out for himself. Exactly. There, Cyrus Toupee. But now he's kind of softened and, he's changing a little bit. And the things he
Yes.
does, I mean, we know what he does with his death, air quotes again, later on. And that was basically to protect Jacob and Kat. So You know,
He's a wild one, that one.
But you love him though.
Me? I
Yeah.
do.
Right? Okay, there. We'll leave it at that at
I
least.
mean, and from what I've been reading online a lot, who he is, the way he looks, the way he acts, his accent, it sounds like that's winning over the hearts of the people that are watching it more than his actions in the show.
He's a babe.
So,
Yeah, we can like just rip on everyone in this show. Nobody gets a break, but this is the first time I think we're calling out Thomas and all the times we've
We
watched
are
the
Thomas
show.
fans over here at Back to the Pond.
Elliot just
I,
blinks the wrong
yeah,
way and
I like where his arc took him. It took his character. So,
yeah.
but
Well,
I,
in the midst of the town, of the team meeting, Susie and Kat have like a telepathic conversation, and all of a sudden, Susie's like, "You need to go home and get information." Kat's like, "I need to go home and get information." You need to go home and get more information.
it was a
The
Jedi mind
twins.
trick.
Yeah, that's what it is. Thank you. To check the execution records that Casey had brought up to see just exactly what happens while Jacob is being held captive.
I'm glad Susanna came up with this and about sending Kat home. You know me, I pick on Kat a lot, her character.
Just
She
you?
is so demanding. It's a pet peeve of mine when I always see on TV or people in real life, well, they'll do things like, I demand to know, tell me
Mm.
now. Like, who gives you the right to question me that way or to demand things? So she demanded that from the guard. I demand to see my brother. No, you don't.
I don't give a rat's behind.
Right.
I appreciate the audacity to be like that and not a time that's your own.
Don't they bring that up in an upcoming episode though, where I think it's Susie and she goes, "Hey, newsflash, you don't have the ground to stand on that you do in your time in this moment right now in the 1800s. No one cares about you."
No.
It,
Right.
it happens in one of the episodes, I feel like, and she gets that
Okay.
pep talk like, "You are too big for your britches right now in 1814,
Right.
Miss Ma'am."
I mean,
It
even
doesn't
Mhm.
work like that here.
even if she was in 2025 and demanding that
Totally.
of people, no, you don't
I
just,
demand you to complete my Herald
Totally, totally,
publishing
totally.
yeah,
suite.
like no, 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 no. That's a big pet peeve of mine. But I am glad to hear that you remember that about Susanna because I look
Right?
forward to that conversation.
Whenever it is, it's probably made up. It never actually happened.
Right. And
Um,
I see where Kat's coming from because, she's done all this work and she's right there. She saw him get taken. She was so close. And so she's
she's
working
also a
on emotion.
world-renowned journalist.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
award
yeah.
winner.
She's like made her mark, not
Mhm.
by rolling over, guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, anyway, so Thomas Boyle is wild, Cat is wild. You know who also is wild? Miss Dell, who comes in for her late night escapades, swimming with Sam. And this is the morning after, I believe, and
Yeah.
Alice just like straight up calls her out. I can't remember what she said though. I didn't jot it down.
Mm-mm.
She's got
What,
something to say though.
who did? Alice?
Alice
Alice
calls her out in
Adele.
like the first scene that we see him in. I can't remember what she says. I wish I wrote
And
it
then, of
down.
course, Dell had something smart to say back or something. I don't
Dell,
remember, but I
Dell didn't
remember
really
just,
say anything smart back. She just said, I had quite the night.
I'm thinking of later when she said something to Kat that I think I did write down.
Maybe
But
that's what I'm thinking of too.
yeah, I did have quite the night. Still not okay with this, Dell, but
Whatever.
I have no
Whatever.
comments.
And then we are introduced to this like ongoing, lingering PTSD that we have with the phone debacle. Um, yeah.
That,
It's crazy to think that this many years later, she still has to worry about this or
Right.
can still run into this situation.
mhm.
That doesn't feel
Right. It felt like
helpful.
a heaviness all over again that even I thought I had grieved through. I was like, oh, I'm
Yeah,
ready to move on. And
it
now I'm
seems
getting these
like
calls.
20 some odd years later, like, hmm.
Yeah, it felt so. heavy
Right.
and not
But
totally necessary.
I mean, if that actually situation like that happens, there is no time frame. I mean, if they find something that many years later, they're still
Yeah.
going to follow up on it,
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
unfortunately.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, they've already pretty much put it to bed because they had that ceremony. They, declared him dead and then had,
Yeah. Okay.
you know, or well, not funeral, the little memorial service,
Yeah.
season
Okay.
one.
I see.
So,
That would be difficult then if you yourself are like, okay, it's over. We're done here.
Yeah. So many things tied up with that.
Yeah.
It's just wild to think while you watch it, you're like, dang, you're still going through this with these phone
Yeah.
calls.
Yeah. All right. A little forgiveness for Dell then, because I think we've all had our turn of Kelly being hard on Thomas, Sven always being hard on Kat. I'm always hard on Dell. So we're all just like, okay, we understand.
Giving everybody a little bit of grace in this episode.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, Elliot. Alice goes from checking in on Dell and her escapades and then runs on over to her science teacher's house and fills him on what's going on, like, oh my God, mom found him. Elliot's like, what?
Yeah, I
Right. I was
love
like, oh,
the
you care now.
I love the little the humor they interjected where she pounds on the door and he says, "Can you just knock like a normal person?" It's just so basic and silly, but then his first thought was, "This better not be another matchmaking attempt."
Act like
Mm,
you didn't like that, Elliot.
Yeah.
right. He's
Act
like,
like you didn't
he
He
like
needs
liked
that
it
it.
until he didn't when it
Where would he
failed.
be
So,
without her?
until it exploded in his face because he can't go 5 minutes without sassing somebody.
I think there are two peas in a pod there.
Totally,
Absolutely.
totally.
Yeah,
He's I feel like he doesn't take any ownership over his sass.
right.
He's
There is a good conversation though that Alice has with Elliot at this point about the phone call.
Mm,
And she's really conflicted because she wants to tell Dell because Dell
yes.
obviously is hurting over this, but they can't. They know they can't, but they know it's not Jacob, whatever the police have found. Um, Elliot does give the right response when he says, "We don't know the answer yet because we don't know
Yeah,
if Cat saves him, if he comes back, if he's coming back as a child, as an adult, if he does
yeah,
end up in the ocean, they find him. We don't know yet until Cat comes back with more information."
yeah.
But they are really struggling, and that would be hard. Like, what do you do with Dell? You see her going through
Mm.
this, and you know stuff, but you just can't say anything.
Right.
And what do you do? Oh, by the way, your kid's back 100 years,
It'll be okay,
couple
Grandma.
100 years.
Uh, hang in there.
I mean, what are you going to stand on the banks of the pond with a phone? It'll be okay, Dell. Trust me. I mean, we can't all play chess, but
I see what you did there.
I
Um,
don't.
but yeah,
yes, you
Sam
do.
Bishop?
Yeah, I think you saw it.
Kat comes back from her travels and goes straight to work.
Who would have thought? Just play the background, Elliot, the new editor.
Yep. Right, right at it. She was, but did she really go straight to work on the paper?
Absolutely not.
No, she went straight to work to delegate work to people who aren't even employed by the Herald.
No, 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 no. Pause, pause, pause.
Yep,
She
go for
goes
it.
to do her own personal investigation,
Yep.
completely ignores the job that she has to recap and produce a whole Founders Day celebration issue. Her family comes to check on her, and rather than going to their jobs, because again, Elliot woke up getting ready to go to his teaching job, didn't make it there,
Alice was getting ready for school.
didn't make it there.
Nope. But this is what I this okay, there's a couple points here.
His sick day count is off the
Right.
charts.
But when they're working on the paper, it's dark out. So did they go to school and then go after school to work on it?
You know they didn't.
Right.
Well, we can just
You know they didn't. They had to
we
We
can
put
can
hope
together
they
an
did.
entire
assume.
issue.
We can hope they did. Also,
He
Kat,
wrote it at school if he went.
what was Casey doing when they were looking at the ledger? They were sitting at the desk looking at the ledger, remember? Like, and they even said, "This is weird. There's an execution book," and put it on her desk. Kat goes into the office, ripping through boxes, and it's right on top of the desk. She walks over there and goes, "Oh, Casey, yes, it's right here." I know it was probably time filler and for dramatic purpose, but it was
Yes.
right on top of the desk the whole time, right where she left it.
Hmm.
Was that coincidental on Casey's part, or was that intentional and plotted because they know something or something about something?
Yes.
You can say it. We have spoilers.
Oh, I don't. That was a
Oh,
genuine question.
Do
okay.
they know, Sven?
What do they know?
Yes.
We don't know what they know.
Oh, well, I thought you knew something that we didn't know. I know
Couldn't
nothing.
tell you if I knew. I
You got
don't.
spoilers?
This just turned into a Bad Friends episode.
No, we know they know. Anyway,
Oh,
Joey doesn't
yeah.
know.
What do you know,
that's
Doc?
not it.
Couldn't tell
Joe
you if I
doesn't
knew.
share
All right.
food.
So anywho, nice segue, people. So yeah, she gets them to put the paper together, or they actually volunteered to put the paper together. Elliot
They're
did.
looking for any excuse to not go to school.
That's
Yes.
true. I will say though, I appreciated Elliot being like, "You have to go, Kat. This is for your little brother." And because I'm always getting whiplash back and forth about he's in, he's
Supportive,
out,
not supportive.
whatever.
Supportive, not supportive.
So at least he was like being selfless. I'll help you here. You go. So I thought
Right.
that was kind of nice.
He's got a hero complex.
He does.
Right.
It's just like, don't say anything bad about my boy.
And I am gonna need to go rewatch my reaction though to Hot Elliot in season 3 though, because then again I'll just ping pong right back with him. I'll be like, ooh,
Right? I was
hello,
like,
Elliot.
the thing that's almost as annoying as Elliot going back and forth with Kat is you going back and forth with Elliot.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, at some point, Kat makes it home
Oh,
and runs
wait,
into Dell, and
wait. I just have to mention the reason they looked for the ledger and that she found it, she did not find Jacob's name in the ledger. So she knows he was not executed, or at least believes he wasn't. And then that leads it to the next when she finds
Mhm.
out he wasn't there. That leads to Elliot saying, "You know what? You got to go."
just go.
That was
Yes.
pretty important that she did not
Proof.
find his name in there.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
Thank you for slowing us
That
down.
was, yeah.
So, okay, now, phew.
So again, I'm missing something in my notes and I'm forgetting the transition of scenes. But the way that I have it written in my notes is very in tune with Kat and who she is. She pawns her work off on her bestie slash kind of sort of boyfriend and her daughter, and then she goes home.
Yeah,
That's what I got too. She just walked in, and my favorite quote, one of them of the episode,
Take
was
it.
she talks to Dell about, oh, hi. And she's like, where you been, man? And what
I
was
have
it?
it too.
How can you write a whole paper on something when you were barely there? I was like,
Well,
oh
the
my,
conversation. It starts with you look like something a cat dragged in.
yeah.
Good morning to you too. I'm just reliving the death of a family or like the loss of a family member.
So I had that same quote down from Dell, but did you see her face after she said it? It looked like she regretted it.
She's so
She had this look on her face like, "Ugh, I should be trying harder. I shouldn't be doing this."
and then
Okay.
just strikes her with like round
Another
two
one.
of the put downs.
No, there that was the end of her conversation with her. But she did have that look on her face like, what am I gonna do? I gotta quit doing this.
Okay.
Cat needs to be better. That something needs to change. I don't know. I just got that feeling from that look that she gave after that. Because you know how when you say something and as soon as you say it, you kind of
Ugh,
low key regret it. You're like, oh, I probably should have.
Yeah.
I know better than
That's
that.
that was the look I got from her.
So in Kat's again, just like leisurely morning afternoon that she gives herself now that she doesn't have any work to do and she has to prep herself to go back into the 1814 and do her time traveling. She also makes her way up to Jacob's room. And this is where I start spinning. She's looking around, she sees Jacob's collection of Polaroids and sees a key with CG stamped on it. And then she's overwhelmed with flashbacks of that same CG, and she's able to
You tell this is
connect
my
it
toupee.
to who's the bad guy?
Cyrus!
Cyrus and that toupee. Now, I just want to make
Oh,
it very clear to
Cody.
anyone watching this, there is no judgment or anything being cast aside to anyone who walks that path in life with a toupee. Do you. If it makes you feel great, love that for you. Any
Yeah.
jokes and wisecracks that are made on this topic fully come from the fact that Cyrus's toupee is its own character in this show.
For real. And those sideburns.
The sideburns are
But he
amazing.
looked, I remember in season 3 or something, right? When they have like the flashback, like he pops up in Linger More, like as like a
Oh,
mirage or whatever. And they're like, oh my God, he looks so bad, right? Like, no way. This guy looks so good in this episode. He looks so
his
nice,
hair is so thick. It is so lush.
right?
His
Brown as
facial
brown can
hair
be.
is its own character.
Yeah, I was just really happy to see him today. I'm
So thick.
like, what's your secret? You taking any hair vitamins?
Pass him on. Give me the Rex.
He's using some of Susanna's salves on his hair.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have seen that word more times since we
Salve,
last recorded than I ever have in my entire life.
salve,
And I keep saying salve.
Yeah, I don't think you
salve.
pronounced the L.
Like, ooh, let me put that salve on.
It's totally, I've got to get, okay, this
Put it in the
happened last
comments. How do
week.
we say the word?
I, I mean, I think we've already gotten like kind of dragged for some of our pronunciations, Kelly, on some words in the past from commenters, but I've
Salve.
never heard salve in my life.
Okay, so
Salve.
I went to Google pronunciation, and this is the word.
Salve.
Bleh.
Salve. You do not pronounce the L.
You know what I have to say to that?
Salve.
No.
Yeah. I I crack up over how hard it is for some people to not pronounce letters or to pronounce words that have letters in them and not pronounce every letter. Like you want to pronounce salve, but you don't want to pronounce knife. It's still knife.
Why are
There's
any
Okay,
of
here's
these
just
the
letters
thing.
here?
there's
Here's the
useless
thing.
letters in the English language that make no sense whatsoever.
I've never heard that word be used before.
I have. I
It's a
mean,
salve. Rub it on your hands.
Get your salve.
no, it's a
Yeah.
salve. Just
Not
like
Okay, look, maybe
salve.
that's a regional thing. Maybe people who grew up like and were born in Chicago say salve.
I've never heard anybody say salve. Never in my entire life.
Why can we never just let you be right?
Never.
Exactly.
Because
I
I
hope
know
I hope the watchers out there are picking up on this. This is what I go through.
I
This
have
is
heard this
against
word
these two.
though. It's nuts.
Because for one, this one up here
Nope. Wrong way. I don't know.
always wants to correct me when I mispronounce any word.
Talking about the toupee, Cyrus's toupee over here.
You mean Cyrus's
Nostalgia.
toupee?
That is how you spell that though, right? Toupees with two E's.
And I think Kelly is down there vigorously Googling the pronunciation
I
of
am. Who in the world says salves with an L? Show
I
me the demographics and the maps.
I need to know when to just give up, but like I know I've heard salve several times in my life.
Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up.
I've
Yes,
never heard salve.
salve can be pronounced with the L sounding, though the most common pronunciation in the US is with a silent L. The pronunciation depends on the speaker's dialect and geographic region, with some regions, like in the UK, saying it with the L. We're British, that's why.
Yeah, we're part of Cyrus's army or whatever. Team Cyrus.
Fake
Bell.
soldiers.
But a majority of the people in the United States pronounce it without the L.
Okay. So it's basically if you're an L, you're Team Cyrus. If you're not, you're Team Susanna and everyone else.
We're just British. In conclusion.
I'm
Oh,
not.
you. Okay.
My German site's coming out.
Okay, back to the show. So, Kat's looking around at pictures, finds Polaroids, finds the key. This is where I just started spinning. I was like, how in the world is that the key? How did Jacob get it? Spinning in that question for the entire 35 minutes remaining of the episode. I have it in my notes in large font, in bold, and underlined. Where did Jacob find this key and how did it get back to the home?
Yeah, it does make sense in the end. I was like, where did she even get the key? I remember when she got it, but I was like, where is she?
Oh, like no big deal, just hidden in a jar of buttons and keys in the basement.
Right. That part annoyed me because I was like, oh, wow, how convenient. You need this key when you're going back. Like,
I think my notes kind of sum it up because it's at the very end of the
beginning.
episode when Jacob finds the key. I have in big letters WTF
Right.
because it's a century later, and
But
there's
it's
the key.
also just like the power, and I think, Sven, I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like this is what I love so much about time traveling stuff. The writing is t just takes to so much more thought when you write on like with the context of time travel.
But
Mm.
I was thinking about this with
I
the
love
whole
it.
Casey incident, and I've got some theories I want to talk about with Casey at the end here when we get. I guess that's my ponder point is giving kind of a Casey theory.
Mm,
Um, but the thing about time travel, like writing time travel, is since it's such an impossibility and it's so bizarre, you can write whatever you want, however you want it to happen, whatever the rules are of your time travel and your story, and it
mm.
doesn't matter because it's however you write it. Right? Like there's no precedent out there. There's no, okay, this is the way time travel's
Confirmed
got to
yes or
be.
no.
Boom, boom, boom. This is why when I've talked about it in past episodes, I don't like Back to the Future. Because everybody quotes Back to the Future and says, well, you can't do that. You know, you'll start to disappear in your photos. And you're like, no,
Mm.
you know, that was a story written by somebody who had a story in mind and they wrote it down. There's no real
That's their
rule.
version of it.
Yeah. So with this, with the key, and they can just write it in that it was in the photo. Now our attention's drawn to it. Cat knows where to go find it. You know, how it ended up in Jacob's possession. I mean, you know, they can write it however they want. And we can write it where the viewer's mind, the pond gave the key to Jacob, thus to Cat. Like the pond's controlling this.
Came up from the roots and sprouted,
Yeah.
Kelly.
I mean, you
Oh,
Now's
know,
my time.
no.
because we
I
know there's something supernatural or somewhat mystical or magical about the pond as it is. So why can't it be that it's controlling who finds these
mm.
hints and clues and what they all lead to?
And
It's
thinking
just
of
wide
different
open.
like approaches or whatever to it. Elliot's always like, everything that's going to happen is supposed to happen and it will happen. Like, you can't mess around with it. It's going to happen. I like that one because it's like, it did happen the way it was supposed to happen because it already happened.
Right.
You
Mm.
Yeah,
know?
definitely. That's like the one thing in the show that's really anchored and is just set in place. It's
Mm-hmm.
happened, it happened. We get
Mm-hmm.
to see how it happened, but it still happened.
It's
Mm-hmm.
just so crazy
Which leads
how.
into my KC theories at the end, or questions, I guess more questions than theories.
Ooh.
But we'll get
We
to
want
that.
it now.
Okay. So Kat again is just like taking her leisurely time, finding pics, finding all the stuff. I can't remember if we skipped over and like actually found the key.
Yeah,
Did
she
we?
goes in the basement and looks through his
That
stuff.
there it is. Okay, no, that comes up in a little bit. Okay, checking my notes again. She bumps into Alice, so maybe, yeah, maybe she did go to school, maybe she didn't. I don't know. They bump into each other and just have a quick chit chat about life. And one of my other favorite quotes, the only reason I'm bringing this scene up is because Kat's recapping Thomas, and I was like, oh yeah, well, and then this happened, and yeah, Susie's helping, and Thomas is helping, and Alice is like, wait, what? Who's Thomas? She's like, oh, you know Thomas. I told you about Thomas. She's like, the same Thomas who was helping you? Yeah, 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 the one who shot me. Just she's so casual with the way she talks about getting shot.
Right.
She did it like 2 episodes ago. She
Yeah.
does it again, like, yeah, that one. Shot. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then
Moving.
even when Alice questions, it's like, what? And she's like, oh,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's fine.
NBD.
Yeah.
Such a
Yeah, of course,
warrior.
Kat finds the key in the basement in a jar of buttons and lost items that just so happens to be perfectly preserved. Thank goodness, though.
Well, it was just in
You
a
find out
jar.
that thing sure was needed.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, Dell's like avoiding the phone, but then like secretly also like glued to it and like waiting on pins and needles. Cause you just see this sad little ounce of hope that's still lingering in her. Like, oh, I hope they call with good news this time.
Um,
Man, you see her, you see Colton, you see them get mad at those people on the phone.
I was gonna say I can't find her quote. Oh, it is right, like around this time, I think. How dare you tie up this line?
How dare you tie up this
Don't
line?
you know I'm
We're
waiting on an
expecting an
important phone
important
call?
call. Don't you call back.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And the one time they were sitting around the table and the phone rang and Colton jumped up to get it. It always another thing that a lot of things bug me in life, okay? This
Yeah.
is one of them.
This is a
When
safe place to share that.
when people say things about their family, like this one, he says, "A Landry never gives up hope." Like it almost sounded like that's the family mantra they've had throughout the years. We've never
Elijah
heard
started
that
it.
until now, right? This is the first time we heard it. But he made it sound like this is something they've lived on like throughout the decades and the centuries. It's,
Like that.
Landry never gives
Yeah.
up hope.
Like,
I mean,
I felt too forced,
of course you're
also.
not giving up hope. It's your child, right?
Right.
And it was a little sad though to see him get that excited because you knew that phone call
Totally.
was not going to be anything good.
Well, and like to see Colton get sassy and angry and like growly on the phone, I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he needs to go to a therapy session.
Oh, with Rose, perhaps.
Just
been there, done that.
just not on a night with a what is it? A snow moon. Anyways. I don't know
So,
why I hide the spoilers. We know that's the night he gets killed, but anyways.
yeah,
Whoa,
been there, done that.
whoa, whoa, what?
Threw that one out there. All right. So yeah.
So Dell's throwing a temper tantrum at the phone, and of course, who comes lurking in and letting himself
Get
into the
off
home?
my property.
Get out of here,
I'm so
Sam.
mad. Mm-hmm.
Dell, what's going on? Talk to me.
But then he's always like, but I read up on it. Oh, I heard about that. You don't have to tell me about it. So
But I
it's
know
like,
everything because I've been stalking
Yeah,
you.
why?
you don't have to tell me
Right.
about it, but do you want to tell me about it?
And then change the subject. Oh, I'm here for you,
So
but
I went into this scene really digging for clues from him, like
mm-hmm.
to see if he tipped it off that he knew
Anything.
everything already. And the only thing I got was that line when he said, "Oh, I read about it. You know, I know all about it."
I heard about it. Yeah.
Obviously, he knows a
Creeper.
lot more about it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
so I was looking for little things to pick up on that he was going to drop that he really does know this or that.
Mm-hmm.
He There's nothing there.
Right?
No clues. So
Uh-huh. So I'm like, okay, I get why I wasn't so suspicious about you the first time I saw this, because it is just a casual thing. And then Dell, of course, is like, oh, you want some wine?
Of course, the
No.
line. He says, hey, you want to keep my horse? My horse likes you, hates me. Let's open up some red.
yeah.
Remember when we went skinny dipping last night?
No, they didn't skinny dip. They underwear
You
dip.
don't know, they cut the scene.
They cut the scene. She was gone for a while.
Your imaginations. Whew. She did say she had a good night or quite the night.
Quite
So
the night.
to me, undergarments would be quite the night for Dell. I don't know. That's just what
And we'll
I
leave it there.
thank you. Yes, let's.
All right, so we hop back to 1814, and Susie Girl is getting her witch's apothecary upped and ready to go. She's got like hair of the werewolf, eye of the bat, ready to give to these men in the spice drum to knock them out so that they
But
can
Jimson
devise their
weed.
plan.
but importantly, first, before we do that, what do we discover?
No idea.
What do they finally tell us as viewers?
No
So
idea.
Kat discovered the key, the Goodwin logo, family logo. She remembers it on the boots of the soldiers. So she knows that those were Cyrus's men, not British soldiers, right here. Thomas confirms it. Um,
Yeah, because he's shady and works for everybody.
right.
Right.
Little
Kat
rat.
was going to tell Susanna about it, like, like what she discovered. Guess what I discovered? But Thomas spoiled it by blurting it out. Those were Goodwin's men. So that's where we finally learned that those weren't British soldiers and they
Okay.
were actually Goodwin's men that took him.
Oh.
And
You're always
then
picking up on the
that's when
details.
Susie starts making up all her
Potions.
potion. I wish I could remember what she called it, but
That Jimson weed.
yeah, it could be it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
later on, she's like, you can't always trust Jimson weed or something. It
right.
doesn't always.
Everyone reacts differently to it.
Yeah. And I was like, Jimson weed. Gotta look
But
that
yeah,
up.
these three chuckleheads go back and forth as to what the plan's going to be and who's going to do what and who's going to do this
Right.
and that, blah, blah, blah.
And the whole time, I mean, Thomas is there. He wants to help and
Yes.
he knows, not any one person can pull this off. And but he's gonna try it. And of course, Kat's still riding him pretty hard about not trusting him. He's in it with Cyrus. He's gonna
Rightfully
get Jacob
so.
killed. She doesn't want, she still at this point doesn't want anything to do with him and what he says. She doesn't believe a word he says. But Thomas just kind of takes it in stride. It's like, he takes the beating because he knows he's put Jacob in a bad position. So he just takes it, but he's still going to help. Um, but as far as how they're going to get him out of there, they come up with a plan.
And that plan runs on new information that Susie Girl gives us about how Cyrus and her were betrothed and they were to be married. Um, and yeah, why are you so dead face at that? I'm trying to build like I gave you a second chance to get
Oh, it
dramatic with me.
doesn't show up.
Where's she going with this? Where's she?
But yeah, Cyrus and Susie were betrothed because her dad made a deal with Cyrus. And I can't remember what that deal was. I need you, Sven.
It was,
Changing his background over here.
oh my gosh, why can't I remember that? Her dad made the deal because I thought it was basically he was afraid that she was going to be alone or not have a good husband or something with money or something. And
Well,
then he made a
anyways,
deal with Cyrus that Cyrus would marry her and then he would be like get favors from Cyrus or something.
yeah, yeah. Well, the deal was off once her dad passed.
Right.
And then to protect her, because Susie said no thank you to Cyrus, and Cyrus is kind of a whiny little brat and didn't get his way, Jacob hopped in to protect her. And it just like continues to give me that like there's no like romantic love here. This is totally just like a kind-hearted business deal.
And it was, yeah, she called it a marriage of convenience
Yes.
because Jacob was just protecting her from Cyrus. So if he married her, she wouldn't have to deal with Cyrus.
Yeah. Good man.
Yep.
Crazy times.
He's a Landry. He doesn't give up hope. Oh, I mean, sorry.
Okay, so yeah, then we tap forward. Alice and Elliot are burning the midnight oil, working at the Herald, trying to get this issue to the printers on time. Elliot doesn't know how the program works and can't work it. So that's some editor that we've got.
Right. Well, that's why I put new. He's a new editor, so he's new to
Yeah,
this
she's still
software.
learning. Um, and of course, Alice stumbles on another teaser for the Lingermore fiasco of 2007.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it, but Elliot said it the year they graduated college.
Right. I never did the proper math though. And so when
No,
I
I didn't either.
heard that and saw that, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Right?
2007? I thought we were in 2001.
I know. I'm like Y2K over here with Spilsky in his bucket hat. Like,
But I guess now we're in
what?
Bilski.
2002, like when she goes back.
They're so old.
But 2007, I was like, okay,
I was
I'm
in
over
high
here thinking
school
that Kat was
then.
16 when she had Alice. Like, oh, she was just so young.
Hmm.
Hey there, Spilsky.
What up, Spill?
Hiding in the background.
But the Lingermore incident comes up because Alice finds an article. And again, it's just like from Evie's perspective, like, gosh, they've just scorned the town's name with their bad choices. They'll have to live with this forever.
And Elliot's trying to be so like, we have a deadline. Again, kind of pulling like a Sam Bishop, like,
Total
oh,
weenie.
I know, but let me change the subject. I'm like, okay, you've been talking about this for like 8 episodes now, and now the moment to talk about it is here.
Weenie.
No.
It's like, oh, what's that?
Hmm.
Lingermore? Never heard of it before. Wait, didn't you house sit?
Only in
Yeah,
the
once or
summer.
twice. Not my, just we have to get back to this program.
Right? It's like I was there with you when you were like making your money off of that gig, but whatever. You can tell me it didn't
Whatever.
happen.
Yeah, that was crazy to hear that 2007. And I was like,
I thought nothing of that, but now that you say it,
that's a lifetime
that's
later.
not right.
Crazy. Yeah. So again, some more PTSD, unfortunately, from Dell with these phone calls. Alice suggests, like, hey, why don't you just get rid of the landline? You wouldn't have to put yourself through this anymore. And then my heart broke a little bit with the response.
So Jacob can call home.
This is the only number he ever knew,
Hmm.
and the only number he had memorized to call home.
Right?
I was like, oh, that is sad.
But
My boy Jay,
I little guy.
he's just a little guy.
I did think that was like a clever little detail on the writing side of
Totally.
things, like to consider that. Because at first I was like, Dell, like if he hasn't called, he's not calling. But like, okay.
Also, at this point, who still has a landline?
Hmm. No wonder she can't afford the farm. She's
The
going
cost to
broke.
keep those up and running is
Uh-huh.
astronomical now.
Hmm.
You know what's funny is last year for Christmas, my brother bought all of us siblings, a t-shirt that had a rotary dial phone on it with our old landline phone number on it. And we had that ever since the day we were born, basically, and we all still remember it to this day. I just saw Mimi pop up in your background.
Hi.
But yeah, we all know that number. We'll never forget it.
4203.
And so I could see when she
Right.
said that about Jacob and that number, it makes
It
perfect
sticks with
sense.
you.
Right? I'll
Yeah.
never forget it.
544-2203.
I just
Great.
said it.
People are going to call that number
Call
now.
us up.
You don't know the area code.
Also,
Oh,
it's old. We don't have it anymore. Maybe it's someone else's number at this
Oh yeah,
point.
don't
So
call it. I don't know who it belongs to. Okay, so it's Operation Team Meeting. Let's go get Jacob.
yeah. So they're hatching the plan.
Tommy
adventure.
Waltz is
Nobody
in.
wants to trust the other person to go do it.
Mm-mm. It's like the standoff with the Spider-Mans also again, like you, you, you. Tommy Waltz is in and has rum to share with the men who want nothing to do with him at first, but then he starts popping bottles, and
You loved it.
I did love
You
it.
loved it. You're like, I like him again.
I was like, you know what? He really can set the mood.
Hmm.
Yep.
But yeah, unfortunately, it is infused with ringworm or whatever, muggle wort, whatever.
Jimson weed?
Jimson weed, thank
It's
you.
weed.
Ringworm.
And the gentlemen just start dropping like flies left and right.
Working on some of them.
And then Susie goes to see, in my notes, I typed Cyrus, but I auto-corrected to Chris.
I think I've had that happen too.
Susie goes to see Chris.
Chris with the toupee.
I
And
got to change my name.
speaking of toupee, there are more hair accentuations that need to be addressed in this scene
Everyone.
because Kat is ready to play Mary-Kate and Ashley with Susie, and she's got these long, wavy locks on.
I don't know. Did I miss something? Why was that wig just like there
I have that in my notes.
as an option? Just like, hey, can I wear
Right.
that?
Do you have a white dress? Yes, I do. Here, let me take this wig that you have on this stand.
Or wigs even a thing like that in that style?
Couldn't tell you.
Maybe with like the roller and white stuff, or Cyrus's
Couldn't tell
toupee
you.
was in fashion, but like a long, even at the end, it looks like a 2000 like 18 like just came back from the
It,
salon wig.
I mean,
Yes.
honestly, when I saw her
Brazilian blowout.
and that the like white sleep gown thing she was wearing, she looked like the girl from The Ring.
Samara.
Tamar, yeah.
Totally.
That's what it looked like.
Totally.
It's just like, ooh, we got Ring vibes going on here.
Biggest fear.
Ugh. So Thomas goes to pass out the rum. Susie is checking in with Cyrus, and Cyrus is so creepy to her. Ugh. So gross.
Don't disrespect my
Ugh.
man like that.
And Kat's ready to stir up some trouble.
Yeah, I
No,
got a little uncomfortable when they were planning this, when Susie said, I'll keep him company, or
I
I'll
know.
like, oh no, don't.
Ugh.
If she walks in and she unties her cape or whatever, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
Susie, no.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I will say,
But she does have the most beautiful hair.
mm-hmm.
Like
That
what
another example of thick, fine, nice hair. I was like,
there were less air pollutants in 1814.
okay. I was like, are the salves really coming in clutch?
They come in clutch in that giant town, so I don't want to hear it.
Um,
So yeah, that's and that after Susie goes in, does her work, then Kat shows up.
and
Thomas put the
she is
Thomas signal. I liked how Thomas signaled her. Kind of Paul Revere vibes. Put the candle in the window.
come on
Paul
in, rich woman.
That's the
Revere.
signal. And so then Kat comes in.
His
One
new
is my
name is
candlelight.
Paul.
And
Um,
when
so
she
yeah,
showed up in that outfit and that wig, did everybody not all at once just go the White Witch? I mean, that's her. That's how it starts. That's how the whole series started, is right in this scene.
mm, yeah.
That was
That's
cool.
true. Her sprint with the long hair.
Hmm.
Makes sense now.
Put the clip in.
Right.
Um, so Kat's down there searching for, like, using the time, searching for Jacob. Lucky ducky, she has the key that is needed to get in there. Like slowly but surely, everyone else from the team makes their way down there. Susie's like helping her look around. She's like, "Oh, don't worry, I know all about these tunnels. Thomas and my father used to use these secret tunnels together for smuggling." And it's like, you guys are all double agents here.
Hmm.
Gosh. But
I
yeah,
don't trust any of you. I trust Cyrus the most out of all you people.
at least he's consistent
Right?
and transparent.
And looks good. What?
And look, and has hair.
Yeah, so yeah, this is the point where wakes up, right?
Yes.
And so he comes down to the tunnels, and Kat and Susanna decide to do a little Scooby-Doo action.
This is wild to me that this is the thought that they have to take
Right.
advantage of
And
him.
I'm wondering if Kat came up with this idea and she got it from watching Scooby-Doo cartoons. 'Cause that's all I could think of was them running in different doors and popping out another one, and
Simon,
Cyrus in the hallway
the
just
whispering.
all I could think of was waiting for him to say, "You dang kids," but I don't know.
Meddling
It was
kids.
funny.
Yeah,
And then Finn
I
comes
went
in
Mary
as
Kate and Ashley
Scooby-Doo.
instead of Scooby-Doo in my notes about them.
What's that?
I said I went Mary Kate and Ashley in my notes rather than Scooby-Doo to describe them, but they're just
Oh,
doing double trouble playing peekaboo.
I think it's both. I think we got them both covered there. And what do you think, Kendra? You think Finn could play Scooby-Doo?
Yes, that was good.
That was so good.
Is he in the room with
Oh, that was good.
Do it again.
us? No, Ranky Raggy.
Raggy.
I've got lots of
That
bits
was so
now.
good.
Thank you,
Okay,
Sergi.
so yeah, they're messing with him. They're playing witchy tricks on him. I was actually freaked out for a second. I was like, this is getting psychological thriller on me. I gotta like pause this for a second.
When he's just like, oh, and I was like, oh no, Kelly
Wedding.
can't handle this.
Yeah.
She's seeing double.
Witch.
Favorite line of the show, other than look what the cat dragged in. Be still, witch. That
So, of course, they find the stall, the key the cat has, and found in the jar of trinkets in the basement that was in the picture of Jacob's from his Polaroid when he was 8 years old, is the key that she's lucky enough to have to open up his cell. Hmm.
and there he is.
The power
That
of time
was
travel
yeah.
writing.
That
And
was a
Jacob's body is so beaten
bit
up.
of luck, I'd say.
The poor guy.
That was sad.
But those salves are really going to come in handy. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We get a quick flashback back to the future or the present. The phone rings. Dell gets real soft and real vulnerable after hearing, like, nope, it wasn't him, ma'am. Sorry. Alice is right there. And she gets so soft with her and just like in her feels. She gives her a big old hug and she says, please just don't leave me to Alice.
I wasn't ready for that.
It's like, oh, she's just a girl.
She's just a little Delilah girl.
She's just a little deli girl.
Deli girl.
Oh, so did that moment strike you too?
It did, and it
Try not to
harkens
talk
back
about it.
to earlier in the episode, and I'll get to that when we talk about quotes. My quote of the episode is from Dell,
Mm,
and I think her parts in this episode, yeah, she was a little snarky towards Kat, but she really softened up in this episode. We really saw kind of what she went through.
hmm
And this phone call now has brought a lot of that back, and she's going through it again unnecessarily. And that's the part that is destroying Alice the most, is knowing that she can't say anything.
Yeah,
And Dell is just tore up right now.
deli. So then Kat decides she's going to be the decoy and help everyone escape and do what they need to do. She's going to run off and she's like, no, I got this. Thomas is like, no, they will catch you and they will kill you. You're setting yourself up to die. She's like, no, I got it. Susie's like, yeah, she's got it.
I have a place I can go where I'll be safe.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
she
so then
does.
she just books it.
Is
Um,
she just gonna fall back into it this time,
Right?
Kendra?
I Oh, well, it's
Oh,
not a fall. It's
well, that's the shot. But remember when she falls back? Yeah, there you go.
did I disappear there?
I love how it disappears out of
No,
screen.
I thought she was gonna do that again, but I was like, wait, didn't she already do that? And then her jump though, this time looks
so
so
aggressive.
trained.
So
Yeah,
aggressive cannonball.
like creepy, like the
Yeah,
way it
like
looked.
I
Mm,
thought about that jump. Like, why wouldn't she just run and just jump right in? But
flop in.
maybe she thought she would trip on that gown she was wearing.
Who
Right?
So she
knows?
kind of bunched it and then jumped. So maybe, it
It
was
looked
just.
like fake, like CGI rather than like actually her.
Yeah,
And
maybe it
then
was.
Thomas, watching
Thank
all
gosh for
this,
Thomas.
This
he
guy.
he gets to the pond and looks down. I swear I saw in his face where he said,
Okay, no, but even before that, like the only reason Kitty Cat got to the pond
He
was because
shoved.
double agent Thomas is in there acting like he's one of the drunk men and he's actually taking them out and tripping them
Right.
blocking them in their shots
She almost got
away from
shot
going after the
again.
White Witch. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, that's where that double agent status comes in handy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I've got her.
Right? Uh-huh. Right. I was like, we like him when he does that.
So crazy. So
Yeah.
wild. But yeah,
I
before she jumps though, what does she drop?
The key.
The
Which
key.
completes that whole episode of
Mm-hmm.
spinning and like wrapping your mind as to how did this all happen. And you just see it's
Right.
always Cat.
That was a good right. And it's
It's
always the White
always
Witch.
Cat.
I thought it'd be funny. Oh my God. You know how she's like, oh, I can bank on the pond. What if she jumped in and it didn't even take her anywhere?
And the pun was like, not today.
You're actually meant to be here.
Just spit her out.
Yeah.
I promise I'll be back,
She comes
Jacob.
flying
Like,
out. Pew.
Uh, oops.
Oh, sorry. I just pictured the scene from Empire Strikes Back when the pond shot R2-D2 out of the water and he comes flying out and screaming. I
mm.
could see Cat screaming through the air.
Also, her wig totally would have fallen off. So the only thing left would have been a floating wig
Oh my
just on the
God.
top of the water.
Uh,
Yeah. So in the next episode, yeah, spoilers, but screw it. We've told you about those. Um,
oh,
Kat
please.
attempts to bring medicine back to help Jacob, and the pond doesn't let her. But
Hmm.
the pond allows the key, allows like what happened to the wig and everything she was wearing? Did that not go to the future with her? Like we don't really see her out of the pond at the end of this because that's how it ends. But wouldn't that be something if she comes out of the pond, she walks into the house and Dell's like, "What are you wearing?" She's got that big wig on.
She would look so much like Samara then from the ring, all wet
Exact.
from the
Oh, all
well
wet. Yeah.
in her white dress. Ugh.
She comes crawling in.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm scared now.
In conclusion, I love time traveling shows and movies.
Me too.
Time travel writing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So speaking of time travel writing, so this episode wraps up with they showed little Jacob, his red shoes.
Taking a picture.
He's at the pond taking pictures, and he looks down and steps on the key.
That has just been lying there for 200 years.
Right. And we see one of Cyrus's henchmen step on it, which leads us to believe it got pushed down into the soil a little bit. But then the pond magically makes it resurface so Jacob can find it, and that would lead Kat to finding it. And so it all does tie together, but
So crazy.
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
And that's how we end. We end with knowing that the pond kind of is playing the game and orchestrating all these moves. Got the key into the hands it was supposed to be, got the key to Jacob, got it to Kat.
Hmm.
But if you stop and think about it, being that you love time travel shows, the key wouldn't have been there if Kat didn't drop it.
Right.
But she wouldn't have dropped it if Jacob never found it in the first place.
She wouldn't have
So when did it start?
she wouldn't have gotten it without oh God, this is where it gets hard and my brain starts to glitch.
Hmm.
Like chicken versus the egg.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because she wouldn't have had a key to drop until she got the key in the future, but she wouldn't have gotten the key in the future until Jacob found it in the middle past, but he wouldn't have found it in the middle past if Kat hadn't dropped it in the early past.
Right.
And
Mm-mm. Right?
I'm dizzy.
That's where, yeah, I love time travel, but then for those reasons, I'm just like, but it had to start
What's the movie? The Lake
somehow.
House
Is that it?
Um,
with Sandra Bullock.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves.
Yes, that was the one that I was like, I can't figure out where I start and where I end.
Yeah, that one.
Freaked out a little bit.
Yeah. And thank
Yeah.
God Keanu was in that. The most wholesome actor there is.
I was
Thank
gonna say that's
God.
him in there, kind of.
But yeah, the way he played in that story. I can do a whole episode on that, but I won't.
You know
I'll,
what? Do that.
I'll
Go
do that
for
on
it.
my own. Um,
Solo Sven.
yeah.
I'll do a solo of the love letter. Another Hallmark classic.
Yes.
Sign me up for that.
I'll do one on A Biltmore Christmas.
Oh,
I
jeez.
will get back to you.
Okay. Okay, so
Okay, so
anyways,
not
that's how
much
the
to
episode
ponder.
wraps up. What?
Not much to ponder.
No, there's not a whole lot to ponder. I'm just gonna go right into my favorite quote of the episode. I thought it meant a lot, um, especially given the fact how hard Dell was feeling about everything with the phone calls. Um, she even thought that having the memorial would wipe the slate clean and they could put it all to rest, but they
Mm.
can't because of these phone calls. And it showed in the one phone call when she answered it the first time, and she kind of hesitated halfway through when she says, "This is was his mother," because
Ah,
she already put it to rest
ooh,
at the memorial. She's
Oh,
come
wow.
to the conclusion that he has passed,
you
and
never
she's
stop being
accepted
his
that.
mom, though.
Well, right, but she's
I get
accepted
it.
it as a past tense thing, and that he is no longer here. She is
Mm.
no longer his mother in the physical sense, but she caught herself when she said, "This is his," and then she stopped and said, "Was his mother."
Ugh.
So that just
Dang.
it just really showed that she did have that memorial to move on and to put a closure to it.
Hmm.
And she
Yeah.
thought they did. And then this phone call started and it started back up
No
again.
wonder she gets so annoyed with Kat.
Yeah.
I quit opening these closed doors.
Yeah. But
Mom
that's all I have
memories.
Stay out of my
on
memories.
that type of stuff.
Hmm.
Um, anybody else have any good quotes that I know we talked about a couple?
Be still, witch.
I mean, they don't get much better than that.
Right?
As
Mine was definitely a dull one when she held Alice and just said, "Please don't leave me."
Mm. And look what the cat dragged in.
yeah. Um,
Ah!
I don't know how you're gonna write a whole issue when you can't even go to work for one day.
yeah, how you can write an issue on something you weren't even there?
Whiplash.
Something
Oh,
you were
that's
barely
funny.
there.
That was good.
Mm.
She kind of did that with Alice too. She said something about Alice about that, about running out on her, and Alice is like, "I'm sorry, I left
Yes.
you, I ditched you, I had to go do something." So she's just seeing these people
Flake, flake, flake,
flake and ditch
flake,
her left and right.
flake.
Um, Ponder points. There wasn't a whole lot. It was all pretty straightforward in this episode. There wasn't too many hidden things that I noticed. In fact, I really didn't notice any. Um, so I'm gonna go outside of this episode, and I sent you guys a message last night. We've talked a lot about Background Byron. Background Byron has a co-starring role in the most recent A Keller Christmas Vacation that was aired last night. Last night? Yeah, last night on the Hallmark Channel.
Did you
And
watch it?
I did. It was a good movie. It was good because it took place on a river cruise in the Christmas markets in Vienna and Germany. Of course, that's
This is the Danube?
my ultimate bucket list trip. Here's a couple things I'm looking at. Do you guys think in season 4 that they're going to address these tunnels now that the Landrys get Lingermore? Are they going to go down there and find anything or learn anything?
Ooh.
Thought about that all still being there.
Because now, if the Landrys do take over Lingermore, Jacob will have something to say about it. I mean, he'll be there, maybe.
He
And
knows
he'll
those tunnels
remember
better
where
than
he was
anyone.
at. He remembers those. It wasn't that long ago for him. So
Ugh.
I'm
Hmm.
curious if that'll also give him PTSD like the other stuff did.
Yeah.
Or if because there's so many bad memories there, if they won't take Linger more, I have a feeling they may donate it as like a historical society thing to Port Haven
The new Office of the Herald.
because the Landrys don't put me in mind as a family that is out to like be rich and make a lot of money off of
A
something.
need will come where that could be a perfect substitute for, or something like that.
Yeah,
They'll be like, oh, this is the right choice.
right.
Wholesome. Good
Here's some
idea.
and some other things I was just pondering and something for you guys to think about, you two to think about coming into season 4, or just in general, anybody out there if they've thought about this. So things happened like they've always happened, right? So apparently Kat's always gone back and found Jacob and brought him back to the future. So he never grew old in the past, right?
Right.
So these theories about Casey being the child of Jacob and Susanna can't happen because everything that's happened between Jacob and Susanna has already happened.
Maybe
We've
they
seen
have
what
a
Also,
we've seen what's
future
happened with them.
kid that we
it
don't know
doesn't make me
about.
feel like there's anything happening between those two with how they talked about, how she
Right,
talked about his relationship.
right. So if Kat never goes back to 1814, does Jacob find his way back to Port Haven? Because that's what happened. He was back. Or does it only happen on Kat finding him? Because that's what happened. See, it gets confusing. It's where this time travel thing gets confusing. Um, because for a while, I thought, okay, Casey is the daughter of Jacob and Susanna, but the rules of the pond are different than what we think they are, and she's traveled forward. Because right now they can only travel back and then back to the time they're from. So like Kat can go back to 1814. Yeah, she can travel forward because she's going
Because he
back to where
can't
she
come
came from.
forward.
But do we know something different about these rules? Or is Casey really coming from the future and coming backwards? Because one thing I've noticed with Casey, they never really show them big into the technology. They're helping at the Herald, but it's always digging through the archive stuff and digging through the old stuff, paper, like physically doing things, not
The things that
computer,
Casey
not
doesn't have access to in a fully technological robotic future.
I mean, yeah, that's just things to think about, things to ponder.
Yeah.
Give us your ideas, what your thoughts are, theories. We love theories around here.
Mm.
See what comes of that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just something to think about. I just it just really struck me about the tunnel thing because the way Susanna said, we know all about these tunnels. We've used them before with smuggling with my dad and Thomas. And now the
Yeah.
Lingamore itself is going to play a big role in season 4 as it should change hands as far as ownership. And will those be discovered? Will it be talked about? Or was it just a one and done forgotten thing?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was just really sticking with me as I was watching that. Like, well, wait a minute, they're going to be there. So something to think about. That's all I have.
Good idea.
So,
Counterpoint for the upcoming episodes.
but
Sam Bishop lives in there.
Who?
Sam Bishop lives in there.
Gold. Sam was in the next cell.
Mm-hmm.
Kat hasn't met him yet, and she opened up the cell door, and he was like, "Hey, how's it going?" No, not my brother. Next one.
right. You stay here and rot.
All the characters that we have no clue about are all in their own cell. Casey, Max,
Spencer,
what's his
All
name?
caps Noah.
Spencer, all caps Noah, Granddad Wally,
Spilsky,
Spilsky.
Byron. They're all in there.
Spilsky.
Spilsky.
All right,
Monica's
it's getting
wondering where
weird
he's
now.
at.
Wrap it up.
All
All
right.
right. With that, we've got what, 2 more episodes now until we get to what happened at Lingermore.
I don't think I can attend. I'll be too traumatized.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
But it's about time. We've been waiting episodes and episodes for it.
Those episodes,
Let's
man.
go.
So
Bring your
silly.
mask. Your
Again, I'm just going to be
captors.
lasered in, focus on how they talk it up and like allude to it in the next
Mhm.
episode.
Yeah. It's
All
built.
right. Well, with that, you know where to catch us next time. Thanks for sticking with us for all of this. Again, drop down your theories. Tell us how you pronounce the word Salve and where you are geographically located. We can make a map. Um, until
And how big is your town?
and how until the next time we see you again, may the pond take you wherever you need to go. Got
Yeah.
it? Yes.
Got it.
Mhm.
I love
Okay.
just like what's the word? Just on your own. Cut that out.
No,
Like,
I'm leaving it.
No, let's hear you. Okay, bye.
Be still, witches.
Bye.